Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Going to call the meeting to order. The Southborough Housing Opportunity Partnership Committee. First item on the agenda are the minutes from December the 13th, 2023, and the minutes from December 20th, 2023. Does anybody have any changes, corrections, or comments on those minutes?
I have one, if I can start.
Eight.
On the December 13th minutes,
Yep.
I just want to clarify the language on one. In line 43, 44, and 45, it's quoted me saying that the vote of the annual town meeting would transfer the property to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, who would then have the right to do whatever they want with the property without coming back to residents. So I just want to clarify that. I think what I was saying is they have the right to sell or dispose of the property without having to come back to town meeting.
Have the right
To sell or dispose
yep,
of the property
of the property. Yep.
without coming back to get a town meeting vote.
Back to town meeting. Okay, they have the right to sell or dispose of the property without coming back to the town, to a town meeting vote, and that's lines. I printed it up and it doesn't have lines on it.
Oh, gotcha. It's the bottom of page one. It spills onto page two in my pagination of the draft I got. This is on the 13th, Dorian.
Yeah, December 13th, yeah, because it's long minutes.
Yeah.
I'll find it. I'll go
yeah,
back.
it's in the Atwood property discussion, like about 10 lines down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lines down.
Yeah, I'm not finding it. This does not have the numbers on when I print it. I don't know why my printer doesn't print the numbers.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, I got it. It's marked. It's not.
Okay.
I did 44 lines. I didn't count from the top down. I went to the paragraph. I'm
Did
good.
you actually count? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. I got it. It's highlighted. I will take care of that.
Okay, sounds good. That's my only comment on either one.
Okay, perfect. Paul, anything else?
No, I'm good. Can make a motion, Mike.
Okay, so no corrections on the 20th either?
Nope.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the SHOPC minutes from Wednesday, December 13th, 2023, and the SHOPC minutes from Wednesday, December 20th, 2023.
So moved.
Okay. Tom or Doug, second?
Second.
Okay, so Paul. Approve. Second. Okay, this is a roll call vote. Paul? I didn't hear you, Paul.
Yes.
Okay, Paul, yes. Tom?
Yes.
Okay, Dorian is yes. Doug?
Yes.
And Doug is yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, moving right along. I sent everyone a packet regarding the 61A property on Northborough Road. It's has anybody had a chance to take a look at this? Okay.
Yes.
So my understanding is the Board of Selectmen is going to send a letter to this realty company, the Johnson Campbell Realty. And it's not a, I don't know the exact word, not bona fide offer, but it's got to be reworked a little bit. So as soon as they receive that letter, the 30-day time clock is going to stop. And then as soon as there's more communication, there'll be 120 days for the town to either buy this or to not buy it. So I was thinking, and I would suggest that we as a board take a vote on whether we want to send the select board a letter to either recommend to purchase this or to recommend against purchasing it. But I think we have to have a discussion surrounding that, what our thoughts are. We might have some questions, we might have concerns, we might have ideas, but I think we really need to have a pretty intense discussion regarding this entire document. So, anybody want to start? Because Jesse's not here, because he could have filled us in on the planning board last night, but it's just very complicated, so I would prefer someone who's more of an expert on this type of stuff to talk about it than myself. So we have to wait for Jesse, but Tom, you're real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it over. I understand the property. I know the parcels are talking about. I mean, I suppose like anything else, it's not our call as to whether the town exercises the right of first refusal. It's a policy decision for the select board to say whether they want to buy the property and match the price and what they want to use it for. I mean, I suppose, like anything else, we're SHOPC, so I presume would advocate for the town to buy it with an eye towards developing housing on it. But it's very, preliminary. And, I don't know what the select board folks are thinking at this point. Maybe that's why Al recused himself from this. I don't know.
Had to recuse himself from it because his daughter lives next door.
Oh, okay.
She's in a butter, so he had to recuse himself. Jesse thought the meeting was at 7:30. He's gonna be here in a second.
Okay.
Nothing to
Yeah,
worry
so
about.
those are my thoughts on it. I mean, anytime there's a piece of property available that the town is thinking about buying, obviously our bent is to encourage the town to buy it and earmark it for some kind of affordable housing project.
There's our expert on this piece of property. Hi, Jesse.
So does the agenda say 7 or 7:30?
7 o'clock.
I thought it said 6:30.
The Zoom
That was
says.
last night. That was
Oh,
last.
is that-
says-
Gotcha. Did I miss a meeting last night? Was there a
No,
meeting?
we, some of us attended the planning board,
Oh,
discussion
okay.
this piece of property, which, by the way, was the very last thing on the very long meeting.
So just so you guys know, the Zoom does say 7:30.
The Zoom says 7:30, the agenda says 7 o'clock. The agenda says 7 PM. So they mistyped the time. I didn't do that. Ah. Okay, Jesse, we just started talking about, the Northborough Road parcel. Do you want to maybe give us some information on it or start the discussion more so than me? Tom just gave some comments.
Let's see. Well, I wanted to get into the paperwork I sent. Sorry, I'm a little bit caught off guard due to the timing. But
I can
just need
chime in a little bit, give Jesse a minute. I mean, I'm basically in agreement with Tom that I think, about all we can do is urge the selectmen to seriously consider this and, acquire as much of it as we can. I think that's one of the lingering questions is, can we acquire one parcel, not the other? Or just a couple of acres if we want, But at any rate, I mean, I would encourage the selectmen to buy as much as they think the town can afford. And then, as Tom mentioned, we'll have to hash out how much of it goes to affordable housing versus, I know open space is interested, who knows what else, but. So yeah, I would be all in favor of encouraging the selectmen to move forward with exploring, acquiring some or all of the property.
So you guys didn't need me.
I'm in
What's up?
I'm in absolute total agreement with both of you. I do believe that all the stakeholders should be involved. That would be conservation, open space, recreation, SHOPC, definitely, planning board. There's a number of groups that should be involved in this, but I would very highly recommend to the select board that they pursue this property. This is
So did you
golden
guys already go over the site itself?
No, we haven't done, seriously, you missed like Tom saying like 2 minutes worth of stuff. You haven't really missed.
Okay.
Well, what
So-
Tom is very important, but you
Where-
missed Tom.
What the site is two separate parcels. So if you're going west on Northborough Road. It's right before you go under 495. And the parcel on the right is, I believe, that's 10.76 acres. And the parcel on the left is 8.76 acres. Dorian, I sent you like a map about half hour ago. It was in the 6-page attachment.
I sent everyone that huge one with the colored, hang on, I'll send it again. I sent one, it's got the entire, okay, I'm gonna send this. I'm just gonna forward this whole email, Jesse.
Yeah, and that has like the PNS in it, or so there's some confusion about this. I thought that this was a purchase and sale, but it's not. It's a purchase option, and town council just reviewed this and determined it's not a bona fide offer because it's got so many contingencies. So the owners of these parcels, these two parcels, are looking to sell them because it's under 61A. Town has right of first refusal. It's not clear yet whether or not we can buy just one of these parcels or if we would have to buy both of them. This option purchase agreement is for both parcels. So go ahead. You're gonna say
Oh, sorry.
something?
I was gonna maybe add a little color to that, just, you know, from understanding of the law. So, I think that these 61A programs, people put properties into 61A and they get tax benefits from it being agriculture or horticulture, whatever the category is. So it's really as if these two parcels were both put in together into 61A, or whether they're put in as two separate parcels under 61A, and they're now, the owner's just selling them now together to a potential purchaser. If that's the case, then each one of them should be presented to the town independently for the right of first refusal, because they're two separate, but bodies that are governed by a 61A, essentially conservation restriction. So it's how they were put into the program, and that is going to determine what our ROFR rights are with respect to both parcels or one parcel. If they're both put in together, then our ROFR rights only apply to both together. If they're put in separate times and separate filings and submissions, then we should be getting right of first refusal on both. But Jay Tallerman should, will know this stuff backwards and forwards.
So that was not determined as of yet.
Okay.
But there's enough information available. I mean, just looking at the lots, we all know those lots. It would seem to me to be a really good opportunity for the town. The Open Space Preservation Commission is interested, but given the need for affordable housing, it seems like that would be the best use, in my opinion.
Jesse, quick question. This is Doug. Given the potential purchase price, right? Because I think we have to match the purchase offer, right? It being over almost 4 million. I'm just curious, how often has the town purchased land with that kind of price tag? Just from my own historical background, I just wasn't sure.
But that's the odd thing, is that this option purchase agreement, according to Jay, is not a quote unquote bona fide offer.
Gotcha.
And that's what we would be basing the right of first refusal on in terms of the price.
I don't know about that.
But we paid that.
You don't think so?
The golf
No, I
course.
think an option agreement is just another form of purchase sale agreement. My view. I mean, it's giving them an option. If they exercise it, they get to purchase the property on these terms, and this is essentially a purchase sale agreement.
All right.
So my concern is, and I don't know, maybe I should touch base with Jay at some point. My concern is that we treat it as not being a valid offer, and then we allow the 120 days to pass and then we're wrong. And, you know, our 120 days is ticking. You know, it's not for shops. It's not for us. It's not for SHOPC to pull that trigger. It's up to the select board to do it. But I'd be careful about deciding that this option agreement does not constitute a, you know, a purchase and sale agreement.
That is a good point.
Do you think that that you have to buy both lots then, the way this is worded, Tom? This is a contract for, you have to buy both lots?
This option agreement is definitely for both lots. I think the buyer doesn't have the choice to buy one or the other. But for purposes of the statute, if they are separate, you know, 61A properties, then, you know, I think, again, I'm putting on my lawyer hat now, then I think the town has a reasonable position to say, hey, we have the option to buy one or the other. We don't have to buy them as a package. You know, they're two separate 61A filings, 61A properties. So if you're offering to sell both of them, you're giving us right of first refusal on both of them. We can exercise it on one or the other or both. I mean, that's the position I'd be taking. But I don't know the facts as to whether the property was originally in 61A together or whether they were separate 61A filings.
Wouldn't that be in the deed if they were separate filings?
No, it's not really the deed. It's a filing with the town, and there's usually something that goes on the registry of deeds that indicates to the rest of the world that this is, you know, encumbered by 61A. And so, you know, there's usually something that goes on the title to the property to say whether there's two separate 61A filings on the record or one for both.
So I'll go see Paul Sabelli tomorrow. I'll see if he has any information.
Or Jay might be able to suss that out and ask that, you know, yeah, they can look into the title of that.
So just in the interim, I would echo everyone else. I mean, it's rare that the town gets an option to purchase land. And 61A was purposely set up for that. So I'd agree that the selectmen should definitely explore it. I just don't know relative, you know, is a 4 mil or whatever the ultimate purchase price would be, is whether that's a large purchase price in their mind. Again, it's very unique to be able to pick up 19 acres or a portion of it. And if it's 19 acres, there's definitely plenty of space for combination of uses, whether it be open space, affordable housing, et cetera. So definitely a unique opportunity to pick up land. So.
Yeah, we've purchased, I believe we paid $5 million to St. Mark's for the golf course. So when we did the public building,
that was part of a massive land swap and a lot of other big picture moving parts. I don't remember another time when they actually came out of pocket $5 million. I know they put $1 million on the mansion house for a conservation easement. But boy, yeah, I think it's a good point, Doug. You know, $4 million is a big ticket.
Yeah, I was just doing the simple math: $240 an acre times the 19 acres. But still, I definitely think it's worth exploring and letting the town decide collectively, because again, it is rare to get land to come up like that of that scale.
The other thing we might encourage them to consider is this whole MBTA law. I mean, this is a big chunk of area that we could potentially zone for that. You know, Jesse Planning Board's, you know, in that process right now. But seems to me it would be
we're kind of a little bit far along the line in terms of the map. I could bring that up, Paul, at the next public hearing next week. Just see what the board's appetite would be to add this. We have there's somebody else in town who owns the property abutting the Walgreens. His name escapes me, but he came to the meeting last night and was advocating for his parcel to be included. He made some interesting arguments. So I think that that's you know, something that's might be doable. It's just that we have to run this whole map through the compliance model, and that's tricky.
Well, back on this Northborough Road, I mean, you know, 19 acres is a huge tract of land. I don't think that the town would undertake that'd be a massive project to use all 19 acres for a massive affordable housing project. I mean, we could be aligned with open space to say, hey, let's buy 19 acres or buy 10 acres and develop 3 of the acres for an affordable housing, project, and I don't know, 8 or 10 duplexes or something, and then keep the rest as open space. That'd be not a bad way to proceed with that.
It's also a great area to probably put a field or 2 in for the kids, so for recreation. But yeah, I think open space would definitely want to get their hands on some of this land to protect it, so conservation as well.
And I don't know if that's the wetlands out there. I know that land is getting pretty close to those streams, so I'm sure some of that land, at least one of the parcels, is affected by the riverfront protection area. So the developability of that is probably somewhat constrained by. Sorry, I'm just looking for the map. I can't find it now.
Yeah, that looks like the is that a house on one of these lots? It looks like a barn or a building of some kind on that map.
Yeah, and it's labeled 6A.
Right, so that
I don't
looks like
remember what that is.
water that kind of goes through there. I also just emailed you the procedure, the process for 61A properties and the timeline, what has to take place and when. So I just sent that to you as well. So you have that since we were just discussing that. So I just believe this is a great opportunity for us. We can do some housing on this. I mean, we could leave, probably shouldn't say it this way, but we can kind of leave Atwood alone. I don't know what's going on with the study on whether the soil was contaminated or not. I was told that the study was already taking place, but nobody has sent us any information, so I'm kind of in the dark on that. So I'm sorry, nobody has let us know what was going on. So I just think we should really try to encourage the selectmen to really take a serious look at this property for us. Not just us, but for the town.
Hey, Dorian, sorry I'm late. I didn't know I was late. It's at a 7:30 start time on the Zoom invite.
Yeah, and the agenda said 7, so I'll take the blame for it. I have no idea what happened, but I didn't do the Zoom thing, so.
So I apologize. I didn't even look at the agenda. I just looked at the start time, so.
No, that's okay, no worries.
It
So
won't on for my laptop, so I have to do it through my. It's wonderful.
we're discussing the chapter 61A parcels on Airport Road.
Yeah,
I sent you the documents.
yep, I saw those. Thank you.
And Jesse sent another, I forwarded you another email with all the, I believe, Jesse, it's the same information. That whole package with the maps and everything. And I also sent you the 61A property process or procedures. Or
Mhm.
what, or if you purchase it or whatever they want to call it. Process of action problem. Okay, so I mean, there's not a lot we can do right now. My understanding is the time clock with the letter the selectmen are supposedly sending tonight with Jay Tellerman to the real estate group that's the Johnson Campbell Realty Inc. The time clock will stop probably tomorrow morning. I don't know what happens then. I know if they send something back, then the time clock starts again and it's 120 days. So Jesse, does that mean the whole thing has to be complete? We have to sign a purchase and sale if we're going to buy it within that 120 days, or is there a different timeline on that? Do you know?
No, I don't. That's a
Okay.
great question.
Okay.
Because we would have to have, I mean, that's a town meeting. Unless the Affordable Housing Trust buys it, right?
Well, they don't have that
But they
kind
don't have 4 mil in the bank. So that's how it really comes into whether or not we can just apportion this, what we want to buy.
Okay.
So town council's got their work cut out for them on this one because there's so many unanswered questions. But clearly, the consensus of this committee is to, advocate for the select board to take action.
Okay, so we are all in agreement that we would encourage the select board to pursue this property?
Hmm.
I think so.
Special vote, but I just wanna, so I wrote a preliminary letter so I can make sure it gets sent out immediately tonight. Yes, we want to support it. No, we did it both ways. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Hey, Dorian, just a quick side note without derailing you. I gotta jump at 7:30, so I'm gonna jump if that's okay with you guys.
Yes,
Take care, Tom.
Okay, you don't need me to vote on anything before I go?
you're in agreement with us, so, do you
Yeah,
want to
okay.
vote now just to take that we should send a letter? Do I have a motion on the floor that SHOPC would like to send a letter to the Board of Selectmen in support of pursuing the 61A parcels on Northborough Road?
So moved.
Second? Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor? This is a roll call vote. Tom,
Aye.
Jesse,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Dorian's aye. Okay, Tom, bye.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
All right, so I gotta find where I did it with it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I just wrote something really quick. Please add, delete, whatever you want. I just wrote, dear Select Board Chair Dennington, SHOPC met tonight regarding the 61A parcels on Northborough Road. We firmly believe that it is in the best interest of the taxpayers of Southborough to initiate an evaluation process with the stakeholders in town, such as recreation, open space, planning, conservation, and SHOPC. We believe that SHOPC should be involved with these parcels as they represent a golden opportunity for the town to build some badly needed affordable housing.
Perfect.
Does that sound all right?
Good send.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep, sounds good.
That's what's gonna go then. Okay. So I don't think we can there's really much else we can do at this point, I wanted you all to be aware. The planning board was on top of this last night, had great discussion. Again, their hands are tied too at this point, so, let's kind of sit back, see what happens, keep our eyes on it. And I will keep you posted if I hear anything about the Atwood property, but there's nothing going on with that at this point, so and that's not on our agenda, so we can't really discuss it, so. But I'll keep you posted on the soil testing if I find out anything. They haven't told us anything, so. Does anybody have anything else?
Have they done the soil testing on it yet? Have they started it or?
My understanding, I was told through the grapevine that they had, but we have gotten no official word about anything with it. Nobody's keeping us up to date.
So I
So
missed
I don't know if
some-
this. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I was just gonna, so what prompted them to pull this out of 61A? They just want to get rid of the land?
Well, I know one of the Johnsons just passed away, and I think they're all older, so I think that at this point, they just wanna probably sell the land and move on, but I don't know.
Beautiful piece of property.
Yeah, and they're really a really great family too, so.
Nice.
Jesse, did you want to say something?
I wanted to just talk about MBTA communities for a second.
Okay, we can't discuss it, but you can say something if you want. It's
So we might want to just add this as an ongoing agenda item.
Okay.
If we have any more meetings up until town meeting, because this is a huge, opportunity from an affordable housing perspective.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest the same thing. We have another meeting before town meeting. and definitely have this on the agenda.
I agree with Paul, because I mean, we're talking about 50 acres, 150 units zoned by right, with minimum 10% being subsidized housing inventory designated, deed restricted. I mean, it seems really like a critical, well, I don't know. I don't want to overstate it, because it's extremely complicated, and there's a lot of, opinions in town about whether or not this should go, and in the state. But certainly I think SHOPC should be, on the same page as close as possible about supporting this at town meeting, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay, I would agree with you. Let's first, while we're all right here, let's figure out another time for a meeting then. Do you want to do it on the day of town meeting, or do you want to do it prior to that, like the week of?
I think we should do it as soon as possible, and we may want to give feedback to the planning board on what the plan is.
Okay,
That's a good point. The next public hearing for MBTA communities for the planning board is March 4th. And then there's another one on March 11th. So if we met on March 5th, that's a possible. How about the 7th, actually?
7th is better for me.
And I won't get the time mixed up this time, Dorian. I apologize.
no, you know what? I put on the agenda 7. I emailed them and told them 7:30. I'm just gonna take the blame that it's my goof.
No, I
It's
think I messed it
fine.
up.
I'm sorry. So,
My bad for not looking at the agenda, and I apologize for that.
well, on the 5th, I'll have just had my hair done, so maybe these bangs that are growing aren't gonna be hanging in my face. You didn't have to
Me
look-
too. How about you, Jess?
And on the 7th, which is totally fine, I will be in Disney, so I will not be here. Larry and Chris will be here, but I won't, so that doesn't do any good, but I'll have my computer with me. It'll have to be a Zoom meeting. But I have no problem doing that. So if you guys want to do the 7th, that's totally fine. If that's better
So,
for everyone else, then
yeah, I was
let's.
just saying, I'm out on the 7th, unfortunately, but I could do the 5th, but I think you guys can go ahead on the 7th without me. I mean, I'm supportive of the MBTA Communities Act. So especially with what's going on in Milton and a few other things around the state, but I'll try to make the 7th if that's the only day that works best for people.
Okay,
I'll make whatever. I'm easy.
Yeah, I could do the 5th, but I'm kind of like you, Dorian. I'll be away, but I could zoom in.
I'm game.
The 5th, I could do 5 o'clock that day. Is that too early for people?
Yeah.
It's not, nope, it's fine, but, well, yeah. And that's gonna be,
Well, why don't you guys stick with the 7th? I will see what I can do. If it seems to work better for everyone at 7 o'clock, and then I will definitely be by phone. But I will try to make it, but don't work around me for that one specific date.
and it would be a Zoom. And you want me to make it at 7:30 at night? Is 7:30 better for everyone, or 7 o'clock?
Doesn't matter.
7:30 is better for me, but I can do 7.
No, let's just do 7:30 and I got it down. All right, so Doug, I don't know if that helps you or not, but we'll do 7:30 on March the 7th.
Thank you.
Yep,
And,
thank you. That is better.
and I would suggest, and obviously you don't have to, I'm gonna go ahead and post a meeting for March the 4th for if we can attend the public forum to support the planning board.
So that's a Zoom meeting, just so you know.
That's okay, but we can join in on it at least.
Yeah.
If anybody, I'm gonna post a meeting in case we have a quorum. If a bunch of
6:30
us
p.m.
come on,
strictly virtual.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And it's the only item on the agenda, so they won't torture you like who I don't know who was chairing that meeting last night, but my God, that was brutal.
I know that guy, you know. It was brutal.
Thought he did a good job keeping things moving.
Oh, thank you.
You did a great job.
No.
Yes, I think you should take over SHOPC.
That's fun. I knew there was going to be a trap somewhere in there.
What time does the public hearing start, Jesse?
6:30 p.m.
6:30. All right. So just so everyone is aware, don't freak out. I'm gonna post a meeting and I'm gonna put the agenda that it's a joint to join in on the public forum.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
I have to call
Appreciate that.
a meeting. We won't be talking or anything. There'll be no minutes. Okay? Any other questions or?
Thanks,
Sarah?
everybody.
Well,
Thank you,
we want to hear from Sarah. Go ahead,
I'm
Sarah.
sorry, I just have one quick thing to say. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to apply for grants for you all for the past year and a half. I have accepted a new role with the Hilltown Community Development Corporation. It's a little bit closer to home. I'm going to be administering their housing rehab program, helping folks in rural communities out here upgrade their homes and stay in their homes through CDBG funding. So I'm really excited. I'm sad to be sort of sunsetting from supporting SHOPC, but I hope you guys, continue the great work that you do, and hopefully the town will be able to work towards a more cohesive process for grant administration and application. So thank you so much.
We're gonna.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Sarah.
Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. I will keep my eye on your meetings going forward. I'll be in the wings.
We will miss you,
Thank
but
you.
congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn? No other discussions or business?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay, all those in favor, roll call vote. Paul,
Yes.
Doug,
Aye.
Jesse,
Bye.
John,
Bye.
and Dorian is I. Good night, everyone. We will see you either on the Zoom on March the 4th or definitely on March the 7th.
I'll see you on both.
I'll see you all. Okay, guys, bye, thanks.
Bye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep.